Start or shall we wait for?
It's a wonderful afternoon, beautiful weather outside. So anybody who is in a sleepy nap mode, please gear up for this wonderful session that we will be having today. I think our students especially will have lots to take away from today. So we have with us, for you, Mr. Uday. I think you all have heard about this Intertech. Many of our students have also visited, so they have a good knowledge about it. Let me just give you a brief about Mr. Uday. So currently he's working as a lab manager in Intertech, managing the overall technical activities of the lab, preparation of quality manual, quality procedures, providing training to technical staff, providing training to different teams and client protocols, preparation of test protocols, recommendation of label, review of samples, and every other step which needs lab review. So over to you, Mr. Uday. I pass the screen to you. You can start with your presentation. Question answers will be coming in the end. So we'll take up the question answer once you end.
Yeah, thank you, Shweta.
Yeah, welcome.
So good afternoon, all. I'll be starting with the presentation. So I hope everyone can see the screen. Shweta, can you see the screen?
Yeah, we can see.
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay, fine.
We can see, sir.
Sure. Thank you. So today we'll be learning about how important the PPE is, what is PPE, and the requirements of PPE, what need to be considered during the PPE, during maybe purchase or usage, and how it protects us from the hazardous infections. And after that, we'll be learning about the product quality, which includes or involves during the export of the product to the other countries, and what will be the requirements, so on. So welcome you all. So we'll start the session. I'll just brief about the agenda. So we'll be going through a small brief about Intertech. Then we'll be seeing what is PPE and types of PPE. So this session I'll be more focusing towards the current pandemic, the COVID-19. So which are all the precautionary PPEs we should use, and how good or benefit on that. So then what is the purpose of each PPE? There are different kinds of PPE, and we'll be knowing and we'll be learning what is the purpose of each PPE and what are the parameters to be considered for each PPE. And then we'll be focusing on quality parameters and purpose with respect to specific end use of the product and the parameters to be considered during the product development and design. Since these two are selected because most of you are going to work with the apparel industry, where the designing and product development are the key areas which decides the products, the quality and the sellability. And then we'll be focusing on some of the quality aspects, like especially what happens when the rejection happens and recalls happens. So how important is and what are the consequences of rejections and recalls? Okay, so let's start. So something about Intertech. So Intertech is the multinational company. So head office is at UK, London, and you may be knowing Thomas Alva Edison, who is a inventor of electric bulb. So he's one of the co-founder. And our history of Intertech is more than 150 years. And we are located in more than 45 different countries, and we are serving the quality assurance services with many different product lines. Like it includes electrical, electronics, apparel, which comes under soft lines, footwear, the pharma, petrochemicals, and marine engineering, the automobiles, all these industries. So we are serving as a quality partner where we, the testing, inspection, and certification we do, and to ensuring the product's quality is meeting the requirement and ensuring the safety of the consumer. So let's start. What is PPE? You may be knowing the full expansion. PPE is personal protective equipment. So this is, the image you can see. There are different kinds of PPEs. So one is mask. The next one is coverall, and the head cover, the face cover, and also for the foot cover. Different kinds of the PPEs, which are usually used in the medical fields or health organizations or some kind of research and development institute to protect against the biological hazard and pathogens, virus, all those things in a particular research institute or even the hospitals, all those things. So PPs are protective gears, or it is also called medical device. So designed to safeguard the health of a person by minimizing the exposure to a biological agent. So biological agents may be the bacteria or virus or some kind of the fluids comes out from the body, like when the person sneezes, the liquid comes out which contains bacteria and viruses. It protects from that as well. And some kind of liquid reagents or the blood, all those things, when a person is wearing, it protects from all those things. So types of PPE, as I said, I'll be focusing more with respect to the current situation of COVID-19. These are the two essential PPEs were majorly used. One is face mask and the gowns. Our gowns are also called as coveralls. So face mask, the purpose of face mask, and before that, there are different kinds of face masks available in the market. So one is clinical mask, which is non-sterile, and that is single use. You cannot use it repeatedly. So these masks are a type of medical face mask which covers the mouth and nose, which provides a barrier. You know all what is barrier is, which protects from one field to other field, to minimize the direct transmission of infective agents. The masks are not rigid and usually made of several material layers. The function is intended to protect a patient. So that means these masks are made to own by patients. Okay, if someone is infected by a coronavirus and is admitted in a hospital and is being taken care, so he has to wear these kind of masks. And the second one is clinical mask, which is a sterile, a type of medical face mask which covers the mouth and nose, which provides a barrier to minimize. It's the same thing. The masks are not rigid and usually made of several material layers. The function is intended for use during medical examinations. So these masks are manufactured to a person who takes care about the patient. So usually we call as doctors or the nurses. So all these persons has to wear this kind of mask. The third one is particulate respirator or FFP. So which is nothing but filtering face space, or it is also called as personal protective mask. So this is the mask which has to be worn for the normal humans who are not infected or who are not going to treat or medicate the person infected. So that means all of us, who are not infected, has to wear these kind of mask. This is a part particle filtering off respirator, which covers the mouth and nose and the chin. In some cases, the mask may have inhalation or exhalation valves too. It offers good breathability with design that does not collapse against the mouth. Okay, so you might have come across different kind of masks when you want to purchase in medical stores. So you can think about this. So the normal non reusable or single use masks are made to owned by patient, and clinical masks for doctors or medical examiners, and the particulate respirators or personal protective masks are for all other human beings. So what are the key parameters we need to consider during the purchase? Or purchase, again, it goes with respect to specific purpose, if it is for medical use or if it is for the patients, all those things. Whatever it is, all the masks should meet these four mandatory requirements. When I say mandatory, the mask has to meet this requirement. So you might have come across different kind of masks sold in online, selling social medias or even some shops, local shops. But please be very cautious before you purchase, without any kind of claim on it, saying like this is having bacterial filtration, this is having particulate filtration. So you should be very careful before you purchase. Okay, because the masks and these PPEs are manufactured and made for specific purpose. If the intention of that usage is not meeting that requirement, it's a waste, and that can lead to a serious issues. So the first one is bacterial filtration efficiency. As I said earlier, like the mask has to protect against the penetration of bacteria through it and enter into human body. The bacterial filtration efficiency is performed on filtration materials and devices that are designed to provide protection against biological aerosols such as face masks, surgical gowns, caps, and air filters. So this test is being performed on the mask as well as gowns to ensure that the product is meeting the required level. So if the mask is not meeting the required level, or if it fails to protect the penetration of bacteria, I have two questions. What is the source of code? Shall I answer?
Yeah, your wish. If you want to answer them right now, you can. Else we can take them later. Your wish.
Yeah, I think I'll answer all at the end of this.
In the end, yeah, great. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so this is a bacterial filtration efficiency. The mask should meet this requirement. Now the next one is particle filtration efficiency. Particles, you may be knowing or heard about the dust particles or microparticles. Sometimes it can be a dry or it can be a wet particles. Particle filtration efficiency test evaluates the non-viable particle retention percentage of particles larger than 1 micron filtered by the mask. You might have seen the mask while you're purchasing, there may be a claim on the product or package saying that this can filter the particles up to 1 micron, 3 micron, or 0.3 micron. So that is nothing but that mask can protect you from all the particles, microparticles of having the size said on the packet. So this can protect you from all those microparticles entering into your body through your mouth or nose. The test is performed on face mask and all filter material in a controlled airflow chamber. So there are different tests according to international standards. Those need to be performed on the product and to be ensured that the product is meeting the specified requirement. The next one is fluid resistance. When we say fluid, it can be a body fluid in any form and it can also be a blood. So this has to be tested on the mask also, because some kind of mask, especially the masks which are used by the doctors during the operation or the treatment, the blood can splash, and that mask has to prevent entering the blood into the body or touching the body or mouth whatever it is. And the next one is breathability. This is very important parameter for all kind of masks, because the comfortness of wearing is decided by how good comfort, I mean the breathability is. Okay, so the breathability has to be ensured. The test is conducted to measure the breathability, how much air it can allow through it to pass. So that decides the breathability of a mask. So this determines the resistance of a face mask to airflow. A lower breathing resistance indicates a better level of comfort for the user. So the values are something like, this having a resistance of 2, 3, 4 CFM, like that. So that says how much resistance the mask provides to the air penetration. Okay, the next one is the coverall or gown, and again there are two kinds. One is single-use or disposable kind, so which are again owned by the medical examiners like doctors and other things. And the other one is clinical item, which can be reused. So before reuse, that has to be proper care has to be done, like washing, all those kinds. So these products are manufactured by giving some kind of finish, like water repellent. You might have heard like repellency, oil repellency, you know, all those kind of finishes. Then the protective clothing for the purpose of isolating parts of the body from direct contact with an ineffective agent. So that means, when a person is wearing this, it has to protect him from all these kind of uh, you know uh, agents like bacterial or some kind of fluids, all those things. So the thing important in this is that product has to be given some finish to resist the penetration. So again, there are four key parameters to be considered in coverall or gown 2. That has to protect the penetration of blood into in through this. That is blood resistance test has to be conducted. And the resistance to dry microbial penetration and wet microbial penetration, it has to resist. So the first one is the blood resistance test. So this test method is intended to help assess the effectiveness of materials used in protective clothing for protecting the wearer against contact with body fluids that potentially contain blood-borne pathogens. When we say pathogens, it can be a bacteria or virus, anything. And dry microbial penetration, this provides a mean for assessing the protection and resistance to airborne infection. So you might have heard like even the COVID-19 is also airborne when we are very near to each person. If the person is infected, it can spread through air also. And the next one is pathogen resistance, like antiviral or antibacterial finish has to be given for these kind of material, so that it protects entering the virus and pathogens like bacteria entering through this. and the other one is the resistance to wet microbial penetration. So this is similar to dry microbial, where the airborne is possible in a dry stage, but if it is wet, it can be through fluids, or when the mechanical or physical contact comes to body parts or the fluid parts. So that time the wet microbial penetration resistance has to be there for the particular product. So that's all about a PPE. I mean, the major or key PPEs at this situation to be used by different persons. And I think we can go for the other topic, the quality parameters and purpose with respect to specific end use. So you may be knowing each products, the apparels are manufactured and made and designed for a specific use. Okay, you can see the image where the lady is using a party wear kind of thing for a trekking. So that is not the intended use of the product. And if a person use, I can say that's not the use that can be abused. So when the product is abused, definitely it will not meet the purpose it made. So each product, as I said, designed for some specific purpose, and the requirements of that product are also specific to that specific usage. So we cannot, use the requirement, the strength requirements of a denim jacket on for the woven shirt. So where the requirements for the denim jacket is higher than the woven shirt, so which is a lightweight, it cannot withstand so much of strength. So generally the examples like outerwear and the formal wears like shirt and trouser cannot be the same requirements of outerwear. So we'll see why testing is required and what is quality is. Just see this. So this what happens if we don't test or if we check the quality of a product. So such an important occasion and such a failures happens. It's very disgusting. So that's the reason, like, to ensure the product quality through testing is very important. So I'll just quickly take you around what are the important parameters to be considered during the designing and development stage of the product. With respect to the safety, again, you might have seen many of the products which I'm displaying now. So they may be having the cords and drop cords, all those things. So those are actually, there'll be a purpose, but those should be designed in such a way that should not cause any safety hazards. So all these garments having cords and different positions of the product can lead to a big hazardous or safety incidents. So I'll show you how. See, while designing a product, we should be very careful to also see the regulatory requirement of specific country. So if the product is designed and sold to a European country or US, so there are some regulations with respect to the safety of the product for the consumer. And you may be knowing Consumer Product Safety Commission at US, so which is like a consumer court in India, but that's not only for the specific product. This is for entire products which are used by a consumer. If any safety hazard of, of the product will lead to a big the rejection, recalls, all those things. So I'll tell you one by one. So what you're seeing, the first image, this one, you might have come across these kind of cords with a toggle. So this toggle can, stuck on some of the objects while you're moving or running, and can cause, the strangulation hazard. So here you can see this is acceptable, but the free end. So this is a free end. So it can hang in the air during the movement, and it can stuck to an object. This is not accepted, but this is accepted because it is looped and inserted into the loop. So again, coming to the second one, any of the object hanging below the hem, so it's not accepted because again during the movement it can also stuck to an object, and it can lead to strangulation or fall hazard. And again, if you see this particular image, so the open ends are the ties which are on at the top is not accepted because it can also lead to a strangulation or choking hazard sometimes. So this is acceptable, but this is not acceptable. And similarly in the hood area, so any cord, open cord, or the ties or cords at the hood or neck area is not accepted. And the loops are accepted with a toggle, but we have to see it should not be more than 15 centimeter in the circumference. You can see how the measurement they are made. The loop circumference should not be more than 15 centimeter when we pull it out. Okay, so again, the next one is the sleeve. You can see this is having some kind of tie and knotted with a loop. So again, this is also not accepted because while moving it can stuck and can create a hazard, safety hazard. So one of the example, so you can see such a beautiful product, but there is a mistake done because this is not accepted as per the regulation because of it can cause strangulation hazard. Okay, and some of other examples for the recalls. So these are the actual products recalled through Consumer Product Safety Commission. So because it failed to meet a certain regulation. If you see here the first image, this having cords or belts or slashes, we can say. So this is not accepted because the length of this the free end is not meeting the requirement of a specific regulation. And even in this the children product, again here it is not accepted because the length of the cord is exceeding the required limit. And again in this one too, the hood area and neck area, there should not be any kind of the free end and draw cords, but this is designed and sold in this way and the product is recalled. And again, if you see here in the bottom hem, there are some objects hanging below the hem which can stuck. These are toggles actually. This can hang in the air, so this is also not accepted. So what you can do is you can visit to CPSC website. You can go to the recall section and you can see different kind of products. Not only the apparel, it can be any item like even electronic items such as laptops, even the automobiles, anything. All consumer products. The quality is very important because if it fails to meet the mandatory or basic requirement or regulatory requirement, that can cause a severe hazard to the user that will become a safety hazard. And so if you see the CPSC website and the recall section, you can see many of the recalls. and that will give the clear explanation why it is recalled, what is not accepted, and what is the remedy, all those things. And please remember, if anything rejection or recall happens and if it cannot be repaired, so that will lead to a huge loss. And sometimes the companies can uh, get a some kind of lockdowns also. I just give an simple example, like when a company ship a product to the US, so they find some of the trims attached to the product was detaching very easily, and a child was keeping that part in the mouth, and when it pulled out, that went inside child's throat and stuck there. So that led to a huge issue, and the consumer went to CPSC and they claimed a complaint. So when they check on the product, so because each product entering to the US will have the tracking label, like they can easily find out which brand, which manufacturing factory it is manufactured, because that's a legal and regulatory requirement to have a tracking label. So they found, and they find the brand owner who is selling that in USA, and they asked to recall all the products. So they went actually to each consumer who purchased that, and on their own cost, and they repaid the amount, the cost of that, and they collected back their products from all the consumers, and they literally have to destroy all the products, because at that time the repair was not possible, and they got instruction to destroy all the products. You can imagine crores together of the product manufactured and sold hardship has to be destroyed completely, because it is not meeting one of the regulatory requirement of that particular country. It's a huge loss, and they have to destroy all the products, and they have to collect back all the the products which they sold by repaying to the consumer. And over on that, the claim made by the consumer who used and got a safety trouble, so they have to pay a huge amount of fine to the court, and as well as to the consumer. So all these lead to a huge issue, and then the brand will put all the charges on the factory who manufactured. The factory has to bear all the cost. So all these things happen because of a small mistake. It can be a designing mistake, or it can also sometimes the production where the quality is not maintained properly, which causes the hazard. So we'll see what is quality, which is nothing but customer satisfaction, and each product has to satisfy the consumer who purchases. So we'll see some of the small examples or images. You can see after you purchase the product and washing, if it shrinks to a maximum extent so that you cannot reuse it, so it's a dissatisfaction, the quality is not meeting. And you can see the color of one of the product stained on the other product during washing, and the performance requirement, or the like the strength. It can be a stitch strength, like seam strength we say. If that is not meeting, then the customer dissatisfaction. And the color, staining or bleeding on other part during wearing, usually the denims with dark shades. So each parameters are shown here as a specific test, and these tests are simulated to actual use when the consumer is using. how the reaction or action happens. Accordingly, the standard methods are designed and derived. So you can see all these things are related to quality and the quality of the product while designing, manufacturing, processing. It's very important to take care. So because you people may go and work in the government or apparel industry in future, so you should aware all these things and you have to understand what specific regulation or requirement of each product for the specific parameter. So before you design and the manufacture. So I think that's all. Let's see the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, how should a fashion designer get involved in PP designing? Okay, that's a good question for you students being in a fashion industry. Or see, you might have seen some of the masks which you see are sold as a fashion mask, and at this particular situation or the time, most of the apparel industries uh, are not manufacturing the actual garment products, because you might have seen all the global brands cancelled their orders. You might have heard about this, and they all started manufacturing these PPs, especially the mask and coverall. Okay, so the masks and coveralls are standard designs with respect to the regulations and some in international standards. But if you see in the same standards itself, you can add, the value addition through your design, creativity, and the decorations, all those things. So you should keep in mind only one thing: the purpose of that product. Like if you say mask, there are key parameters to be considered, like what I said, like breathability or bacterial filtration, all those things. So these are the key parameters the product has to meet. So other than that, you can design or decorate in any way, but it should meet the purpose. So some you might have seen in the market already, like some they're selling as a fashion mask, so which will be having some kind of Superman kind of print on that, or there are some masks which can print your face, part of a face, especially the chin and the mouth part on the mask, but that should meet the purpose, like bacterial filtration and particle filtration, all those things. Or on that, if you print whatever you want, that's a fashion and that's a design. So in this way, you can create attractive kind of PPs, so that the sellability increases. You can create your own brand, or you can design and give the specific company who is making them mask. So this is how you can involve in this. I think that's all to answer.
Yeah.
I'll go for the next one.
Yeah.
First thing that comes to the mind of so many people: what is the source of COVID-19 infection in doctors, staff, and other paramedical nurses? Though they use the PPE kits and other equipment just to protect themselves. Very good question. Uh, the PPEs are manufactured or mean for specific purpose, as I said, to protect the human beings. But the awareness of how to use is very important here, because if they don't use with a proper awareness, let's say an example, when they're wearing mask, they're not supposed to touch on the outer surface during the medical examination or after the medical examination. So if they do so, and that's a possibility of getting infection. and there is no surveying or such inquiries happened on the doctors who got infection. And not only that, the awareness is the issue, but there are other parameters like quality issues. If the product intended to make is not meeting the quality requirements, say for example, if some manufacturer are putting the claim like it is a bacterial, it have bacterial filtration or viral filtration, and it is actually not having any kind of such quality parameters, then that's a failure. So if any hospital or medical institute purchase for their the doctors or nurses who are using that, and they are wearing that and treating the patients, so there is a chance of getting infected. So the awareness and the quality of the product has to be taken care. So that's the main issue. And next question, what kind of fabrics are suitable for mask, and what are the essential tests which it has to undergo? Okay, see, the fabric can be anything, but as I said, the key parameters or mandatory parameters has to be met. And most of the mask uses the filter material as a non-woven material, so which is having very less particle filtration size or micron size. So that can be put in between two layers or three layers of different combinations of knit or woven fabrics, or it can also be made entirely from woven fabric or knit fabric, or can be a non-woven fabric. But it has to meet the mandatory requirement, as I said earlier, breathability, which is nothing but the comfortness of breathing, and bacterial filtration, viral filtration, and fluid resistance. So any kind of fabric is okay, but that should have the protective layers in between. Okay, moving into next, which test is required to be done virus COVID-19 viral resistance test? Yes, it is viral resistance test. We say viral penetration test. But as of now, use of coronavirus in the testing is regulatory, and it's banned and restricted to certain research and testing institutes only, because anyone cannot take the coronavirus and test directly on that, because you might be knowing like it can cause infection if it is not handled properly. So so alternatively, similar kind of virus are used in that kind of testing. Yes, it is viral penetration test, as you said, viral resistance test. That is correct. The next one is, what are the risks and appropriate PPE for students, particularly extracting DNA from personal facial samples? Okay, there are different categories of these masks and gowns or coveralls, so which can protect to a certain extent. So we say class 1, class 2, and class 3, or in US this is called level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. So level 4 or class 3 is the higher class of the protective cover. It includes masks and gowns. So those has to be used by these kind of students who are working in this kind of RNA DNA kind of research institutes. Uh, what are the risks and appropriate PPE? Yes, they supposed to use this kind of high class, the class 3 or level 4 PPEs, so to protect themselves from this kind of infections. Are many companies following total quality management concept? They have to follow, but it is something very important at this moment, because humanity comes in the picture where some companies are manufacturing and selling for only the commercial purpose or their fulfilling their commercial needs, but that should not happen. And that's why the institutes like us, servicing companies, are ensuring that what they're manufacturing and selling to the industry, I mean the consumers, is safe to use. But if someone is not following the quality requirements and just selling without any kind of testing or inspection and directly to the consumer, that is risky, and no one can judge on that. The next one is, using homemade mask is good or not. This is little bit difficult because it depends on many parameters. uh, Homemade mask, like, yes, you can use, but you cannot use it outside. Inside home, you can use it, but that will not solve the purpose if you're using outside, because homemade masks are not may not be having some kind of protective barriers, as I said, like uh, you know bacterial filtration, particle filtration, fluid resistance. These things may not be there because there are some chemicals or coatings to be done on those materials or barriers, which may not be there in these kind of masks. So it's not suggested to use these outside, and you cannot ensure how comfort it is until you check for the breathability. If you use the products, I mean the fabric, with a very tight construction, which is not comfort to air circulation, so that may cause the breathing issues also. uh, the next one, since quality is a major aspect in making a good product, and what should be the key point to highlight the quality? See, any product to be sold in the market, as I said, there will be specific requirements. And when I say requirement, the product has to meet those quality requirement. It can be a performance related, or it can be a safety related, or it can be a regulatory related. So once the product is manufactured, keeping those requirements in mind, so there will be no possibility of failure, or you know uh, I can say failure. So the thing is, the requirements are very important. When the when the product is manufactured, keeping the requirement in mind, that will solve or meet the purpose. Please tell the raw materials used for face mask. Okay, the raw materials used majorly are, outer layers, which will be made out of some kind of woven or knitted fabrics, and there are some barriers inside in 2 or 3 different layers, which are usually made out of non-wovens, and those particular non-wovens are designed and manufactured for the specific category, I mean specific use, with some kind of specific finish, like antiviral finish, antibacterial finish, particle filtration finish, all those things. So these kind of non-woven barrier layers, and along with outer layers, can be a woven or knit. So these are the raw materials. Moving on to next, what are the advantages of hazmat suits or polypropylene and PE gowns? I'm sorry, I'm not aware about this, so I can get back on this particular question. So I'll send the details to Shweta, and she can update to Amol Samar.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. Shweta, could you please help me to copy this question and send it to me?
Great, great, fine.
Sure. The next one is, BIS has published new standard on coverall, including viral resistance. Yes, Indian standards, Bureau of Indian Standards has already a regulatory standard for these masks and gowns. So this is similar, and I can say the same as the international standards what we discussed, like ISO and ASTM, all these kinds. And this is same like ISO. I mean, this is almost derived through ISO. This also includes the mandatory requirement, as I said, the blood penetration, bacterial penetration, and the breathability and food resistance. These are the again the important parameters. This also covers in the standards. Okay, moving to next. In this COVID-19 situation, do the PPE suit fulfilling the requirement and safety of medical users, or still it requires improvisation? Okay, as I said in one of the previous question, the quality of the product, the PPE has to be taken care, and if it is certified as the standard material, which is meeting the requirements, and the awareness how to use those PPEs is very important. So I want to share one more thing here. Till I can say the January, especially in India, we are not familiar to use all these medical equipments like masks and coveralls, even in the hospitals or medical centers or normal humans. So, but there are some countries who are already using this kind of protective equipment, even at the non-medical users and medical users. So, hence that is the reason, like most of us are not aware how to use.
your percent for the month of May. From June onwards, our services are not required till the college reopens in that area, not to remove.
Uday, I think sir's mic is not muted. So okay, you can carry on.
Oh,
What's there?
okay. So that's the reason, like awareness is very important. Most of the doctors and medical examination, centers were not aware how to use, and they were not habitualized on the usage. That's the reason. So the quality of the product and how to use this awareness is very important on this. Okay, the next one is some automation challenges faced by SQA team while testing the product. Sorry, I don't understand this. Shweta, just please check what kind of product and what kind of challenges I can able to answer later.
Okay, sure.
So the next one is when we reuse the mask of nano ones, which is available in market, is the properties inbuilt in the mask will be used by washing it. Uh, the copy of this is the mask, which are usually made out of nano ones, are not reusable usually, because you have to check on the package. There'll be a claim disposable or single use. So most of the non-one masks are manufactured for the single use. They should not be reused or washed and again used, because there'll be some kind of temporary finishes given on to these masks, so which can wash away during the washing and can lead to not meeting the required purpose. So there are some masks, yes, reusable masks, which can be used after washing. So these kind of masks are given permanent finish of like antibacterial, antiviral, or splash resistance, all those kind of finishes, which will not go even after washing. So those are acceptable to reuse, but non-one masks usually manufactured for single use or disposable kind. Okay, the next one is how to reduce the irritability due to wearing the mask after using for a long time. Uh, yes, there are some finishes, not acceptable to use during the manufacturing, which will contain some kind of irritating, or I can say the hazardous chemicals, like say formaldehyde, and the pH value, if it is too low or too high, can cause a skin irritation. That is one thing with respect to the the component present in that, chemical component present in that. So the mask or protective equipment should be free from those kind of finishes. And other one, irritability can also cause due to the fitness. If the size is not meeting the purpose or to the person, that can also lead to the irritation. And some kind of elastics are too tight, it will become to the the person. So accordingly, the size, different size masks are available in the market. So that has to be used. The next one is how we can test efficiency of handmade designers mask. See again, the mask which are sold in the market should have the claim on that, either maybe on the package or in that label. So handmade designers mask, if they are used the protective barriers like antibacterial layer, antiviral layer, or the particle filtration material, so that is okay to use, even if it is designed or handmade designers mask, whatever it is. The next one is how will the freshers survive now? I mean, because companies will likely not hire outcomers for the safety. Um, so we need to wait for some days. Indirectly there are some good things happening because of this COVID-19 to India. Most of the global importers are looking towards India for the things to import. But looking into current scenario and situation, the rise of numbers are increasing very drastically. So we people have to be very careful and aware, how to protect and live going forward. So how awareness has to be updated to each and every person. The freshers, no need to worry. You keep continue. Don't get demotivated. So there are good opportunities coming to India, and the good thing will happen. I think same question. Uh, is there any software required for testing the product's quality, or the companies do it manually? If it is there, then the software. See, for the testing, there are different kind of parameters, like the washing related test, the performance related, like strength related test. So each parameters has to be tested by using specific instruments, and these instruments will have the softwares, to operate, the instrument. Okay, and there is no specific software to just check every parameter. We have to use different instruments, and some instruments are manually operated and some instruments are operated to the software. So as you said in the presentation, use the word recall. What is it? Okay, recall. Okay, you might have heard XYZ company recall so many cars because of this failure, clutch failure, or brake failure, or engine failure. So similarly, the recall means, it happens in the apparel industry also. When the product fail to meet some regulatory or mandatory requirement when it is sold or when it is in market. So they have to recall. I mean, they have to collect back all the products from the consumer, and suitable corrections has to be done and given back. Or if it is non-repairable, they have to give the complete money with the penalty back to the consumer and the court. So that is called recall in general. Moving to the next, mask and respirator was filter up to nano size particle. What is the size of COVID and can filter virus by mask? The recent, the study and the manufacturing and even some of the global industries institutes, they said like up to 0.3 micron or 0.2 micron can safeguard this person from this COVID virus. So again, this is changing day by day, because earlier we were hearing 3 feet distance or 1 meter of distance can protect. But nowadays we have seen many cases the virus is traveling air to some meters, even 10 meters, 14 meters also, when the air wind speed is different. So similarly, the virus size can protect, the mask can protect if it is having 0.2 or 0.3 micron size. That's the general listing. Possibilities how to make antivirus cloths for protecting humans from viruses. Yes, this is correct, and most of the industries the brands have already started making antiviral and antibacterial the products. So the general garments like shirts, innerwears, or the normal wears, they started giving these kind of finishes and manufacturing, keeping the scenario. There are some kind of finishers and finish manufacturers already, manufacturing and selling these kind of finishes too. So what is the proof of product in relation to import and export? The proof of the product means it can be in the form of a test report which is meeting the specific brand's requirement. Say for example, if Nike is accepting some products from India, they might have already given their quality requirements to the manufacturers, and after manufacturing or during manufacturing, the manufacturing factory has to submit the products to the laboratory, and the laboratory will test each and every parameter which is mentioned in the manual or the requirement, the document, and we will decide whether the product is meeting the requirement or not. So that is an one of kind of proof, and some kind of self declarations are acceptable even for the consumer safety commissions also, when the products are reached the customs. So there, if the exporter or the factory is mentioning a self declaration, what I have manufactured and selling are free from some kind of hazards or use of chemicals, so that is acceptable, but that is limited to some kind of products and some kind of hazardous materials only. But otherwise it has to be tested by the lab and it has to be certified. The next one is people own single mask at long period. How much long can wear the mask? Okay, this is again, if it is a single use or a disposable kind, it cannot be worn more than 8 hours or normal work time, 6 to 8 hours. That also depends on how the person is using that. And the next, reusable mask can be used after some kind of care process like washing kind of things. That can be used for 20, 30 washes also after 30. Some can be used after 40 washes also, but that depends on the claim on the package, because they have to ensure before selling that that product is meeting the 20 washes or 40 washes. That means the finish is still existing in that product after 30 washes. What is the full form of CPSC? Consumer Product Safety Commission. Okay. So what are the certification bodies in India and abroad for PPE? Okay, BIS is the one in India, and in for the international there are in US there are NCME, ANSI, AAMI, and in European this thing there is C certification.
Uday, I have a question to you.
Yeah.
Now, Indian manufacturers start manufacturing PPEs now.
Yes.
A lot of support is extended by Government of India and also many industrial organizations.
Yes.
Now, tell me now, ITRA has been designated to do the quality checks and give certificate also.
Yes.
And there are hue and cry already regarding the ITRA certification.
Okay.
Lot of the this thing, and some of the government organizations like Defense Ministry, they questioned CITRA certification itself.
Yes. I heard about that. Yes.
You heard about it, no?
Yeah.
And CITRA is into vigilance inquiry now.
Yes.
Now, why Intertech has not been considered for this? Why only CITRA? They are doing only one test to pass give the certificate, pass the material.
Yes.
Is it not going to have an impact on the quality of PP and also affect our own people?
So to answer this question, it's a vast area which includes many different kind of, or I can say the political things involved in this. First of all, like in India, to be frank, most of this testing and the research institutes are not familiarized to adopt these kind of PPs. All of a sudden this came, and all have started with half knowledge in
Yes.
I'm telling, like the government of India, even they should have been taken additional care. A specialized team has to be made with all available international standards. What are the requirements to be met by each product, all those things. But all of a sudden, the government of India asked only the government labs like CITRA, and which comes under ministry. They give the permission to test and certify.
The reason I feel CITRA has been considered as a center of excellence in medical
Correct.
textiles.
Yes, because
A lot of money has been pumped there.
Because they were having all the facility to test these kind of I cannot say all, almost 80% of the capability they were having the facility to test. And other labs like third party labs, usually the most common products what we were testing are normal apparel and garments, uh, because all of a sudden the requirement increased, and the normal apparel manufacturing orders were got cancelled. Instead they started manufacturing the PPEs.
Correct.
So the load increased with CITRA, because they are the only authorized by the government of India to test and certify these PPEs, and they are not allowed other laboratories to test and certify. That is one of the major reason for this. And now the third-party laboratories are almost all equipped with all the facility, including Intertech. But the only thing is, government has to give us the permission. Other than that, some of the manufacturers are submitting to Intertech also. So they are
Okay.
also testing and providing the reports for their reference.
Hmm.
Yeah.
One of
That,
the candidate writes there are 9 labs approved by Government of India for PPEs.
yeah, but they were not having complete facility. Only Citra is the one which is having the complete capability. And there are some international bodies and labs who are already been to this kind of testing and certification. So the thing is, the cost is higher when they're sending to international labs, and the transit time is taking much time. All right, so there are two more questions. Just answer those two. Give us the standards for PPE for global and local markets. Uh, for the BIS 9473, like IS 9473 is the one. And for the US, it's ANSI AMI PB 70. And for the US, it is 16. I'll just, I can tell you later because I don't remember as of now. Shweta, I think
Yeah,
I will let you know the standards.
great, great.
Yeah. The last question is, what is the difference between bacterial filtration efficiency and viral filtration efficiency? Okay. There is no much difference. The finish given to that particular protective layer or barrier is the important thing. The testing is almost same. The only difference is, while testing, instead of using bacteria, the virus has to be used. This is something like, from one side the virus are allowed to pass through the mask or this barrier, and the other side how much leakage or how much bacteria are passing through this the device is calculated. So instead of using bacteria, if they use virus, that is a viral filtration. So I think answered all the queries. There are 2-3 questions which I need to get back to you.
One more question. What is this to N95? It become our lot of people now aware of N95 mask. Is it
Okay.
so required for all these things? India may not be having. India, we are not manufacturing N95. We know that,
Yes.
and also we don't have lab to test N95. It is a patented one.
Yes. 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 So this is specific regulatory standard, and this is not for the normal persons to be used. This is a specific purpose mask to be used during, this is not, it means not, which says that this is not repellent of oil or some kind of fluids. This is only a respiratory mask. Okay. And
Okay.
this can be used by the chemical analysis during their chemical experiments, or some kind of where the fumes are there, all those things. So this is not a normal mask, and yeah.
Shweta, any more this thing?
No, sir, we've taken all the questions. Okay, thank you so much, Uday.
Yeah, thank you all.
Yeah, it was indeed a wonderful and informative session. I like that picture wherein you had shown an award breaking in between, and you show that if product is not tested in a appropriate way for quality, this happens. This was quite self-explanatory.
Yes.
topic and information actually was so appropriate, especially in today's era. I think everybody had a wonderful session. We have nice appreciating messages for you. We'll forward you. So thank you so much for sparing your time over there.
Thank you very much. Thanks for the opportunity as well.
Yeah, thank you, Uday. We'll meet once again. I know I came to know that you are from SKHTI.
Definitely. Sure.
And all your teachers are a good friend of mine. I'm also from the same institute.
Oh, okay, fine.
I am also from the same institute, but I completed my degree in 1980.
Okay.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, Uday.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you so much, Uday. And thank you all attendees. Let's see you all for the next session that we have. So stay tuned. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.